I am so excited to be here with you all today. I'm so excited. I want to thank Mr. DeMars again for this opportunity to facilitate and moderate this year's panel. And so you heard the theme. It's expansion, collaboration, and opportunity, ECO. And so ECO is really, it's something that more than a year ago, we at Subcontractors USA started to think about how we help small businesses, how we help prime contractors. The expansion is not just about expanding your business, but it's expanding their network, our prime contractors and the entities like the Port of Houston, which is who I work for. Collaboration, the opportunity to collaborate with each other. So you're collaborating with the prime contractor, you're collaborating with the entities, but you also have an opportunity to collaborate with each other. And I know at some point in the program, DeMars is going to remind you to connect, to get up from your tables and stir around. You should be leaving with 7 to 10 connections and opportunities so that you can collaborate in the future with others. And the other is opportunity. Opportunity. And this panel discussion is all about the opportunities. I'm so excited about the individuals that have joined us here today from across the state. We've got folks from Dallas, Austin, and right here in Houston that have billions of dollars of opportunity, all right? And so I'm super excited. Again, Mr. DeMars, thank you for the opportunity and your vision, your leadership in creating this opportunity for us to expand, collaborate, and to create opportunities. And so without further ado, I want to introduce you all to the panelists, very experienced. And I'll start with Mr. Leslie Williams, who's all the way to the far left of me. Mr. Leslie Williams has 45 years of experience in the field of education. He received his bachelor's and master's from Prairie View A&M University. In his career, he has served the Dallas Independent School District as a teacher, a principal, executive director, assistant superintendent, and is now a deputy chief. He's married with 2 adult children and 1 granddaughter. His passion for supporting minority companies has been heightened through the efforts of the Dallas ISD's Minority Women Business Enterprise Department's goal to increase the utilization of minority businesses. And so you'll hear a lot about what that means for you to expand, collaborate, and where the opportunities are at Dallas Independent School District. Then we also have Mr. Hopton Hay, who I've known for more than a decade. He is the executive director of the Office of Hub Programs for the University of Texas system. Hopton Hay has served as executive director of the Office of Historically Underutilized Business Programs for the University of Texas system since 2012. His team is currently managing hub opportunities and compliance on over $7.5 billion of major capital projects at campuses across the state. He was recently honored with the 2024 Minority Business Development Agency Distinguished Supplier Diversity Champion of the Year Award for the El Paso region from the MBDA Business Center of El Paso. And again, billions of dollars throughout the state of Texas through the UT system. Let's give him a warm welcome. And he is coming from Austin, Texas. And we've got our Houston very own, Miss Gabriela Zabrano, who is the Associate Director and Small Business Liaison Officer for Hub and Federal Small Business Program for the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. And so Ms. Gabriela is an experienced and innovative Associate Director with a proven record of leadership, integrity, and significant accomplishments in managing diversity programs, getting her start at the City of Houston's Office of Business Opportunity. Yes. OBO for life for all of the OBO folks. Okay. And so her team is pivotal, has a pivotal role and is tasked with increasing hub participation to support the monumental $10 billion 10-year expansion plan at MD Anderson. Let's give her a warm welcome. Well, you gave her a warm welcome. Let's do it again. And so first I want to welcome you all to the stage, but welcome you to Houston. We want to thank you. We're very grateful for those of you that have traveled from Austin and Dallas. And so to get started, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Williams. You traveled from Dallas ISD. Can you talk about the program and the opportunities for expansion and growth for the businesses that are out here today?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. And I just want to let you know, most people know that we were blessed in Dallas ISD. Our community members passed a $3.5 billion bond, and it was for new builds, renovations, expansion of the different campuses in Dallas ISD. And so therefore, what we do, I'm basically the executive, well, not that, but deputy chief for the MWBE department and special projects for the superintendent. And what we do, we focus on a lot of outreach activities. We have the Bond Academy. And at Bond Academy, when I first started this position about 4 years ago, I was told by the presidents of the Hispanic, Black, and Asian Contractors Associations that they were struggling, a lot of the businesses were struggling with bonding and insurance. And so therefore, we started a Bond Academy 3 years ago. And that's for companies that want to be able to be granted a bond or expand their bonding capacity. And it's been very, very successful. It's helped a lot of small businesses, new businesses, and established businesses expand their bonding capacity. We have companies that were just, being bonded for like maybe $1 million worth of work. And now some of those companies are bidding for $15 million contracts because they've been able to expand their bonding capacity. So therefore, through that outreach, we conduct a lot of training and webinar sessions. And again, we've gone back to the various contractors, associations, et cetera, to ask, what do your members need? And so therefore, we conduct a lot of webinars and training sessions based on those needs with the goal of building the capacity of the various businesses or whatever. And I just want to mention that we conduct a lot of large conferences. A lot of you might have participated in our Knowledge is Power conference. We have vendor expos, et cetera. And we have a huge event, which is Tuesday, the 18th. All right, and it's called the Building Big Construction Mixer. And we already had like 400 people that have registered for companies that have registered for that. And it's an opportunity for new businesses, small businesses, minority businesses, and even larger ones to come in, and we have subject matter experts. Some of the larger minority companies are going to be there presenting, et cetera. We're going to cover a lot of information, and it gives these smaller businesses an opportunity to meet the larger general contractors so they can talk to them about possibly teaming agreements, joint ventures and things of that nature. So just a number of things we do, whatever we can do to increase the utilization of minority and women-owned businesses. That's what we're all about.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So again, that's a $3.5 billion. They're building capacity, and he's here in Houston because they're expanding their reach so that you can participate in those opportunities across the state. So thank you so much for coming down here. Thank you. And so now we have you, Miss Gabriela. You've got a $10 billion opportunity. Why don't you share more about that with us?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Again, Gabriela. Hub firms that are certified, could you raise your hands? Yay, amazing. You see, I'm excited to see all of you because, like I said, we have $10 billion. And I want to give a shout out, I don't think he's here, but Ricky from MCA Communication, that he said, how do you grow hubs is by giving them work. That's the only way that you can increase capacity, and I thought that was right. And so one of the things that we do at MD Anderson, one, we have leadership supporting hub, but more important, we have partners like Turner Construction. So if you're a hub in construction, you better know Andrew Reno, because he has 5 contracts with MD Anderson that he's helping us with data center, the School of Health Profession, and Rotary House, and the Vivarium. As you can see, it's a lot of projects. And so also, J.E. Dunn, I went to one of them, and I need to see you guys more at the pre-bid meetings because sometimes the best way is to partner up with the bigger hubs. For example, I want to give a shout out to Imran. He always is with the Noble Construction, his company, trying to partner up and supporting another hub. So I want you to understand there's a lot of money out there. And if you're not growing, if you're not collaborating, there's something that you're not doing. And I want you to make sure that you make at least one connection today. I know some of you are not great with this networking. Believe me, I'm fully aware. But just get that one person and try to go back, because we all talk to each other. We all support it. And we want to make sure that we grow. As a Houstonian, I want the money to stay here in Houston. Sorry, my colleagues. And so I want to support the firms that are here in Houston. Like, he's here, and I'm like, don't take my hub firms away, you know? I know Hopeton is also going to talk about a project that we have up north, and I'm like, don't take my hubs away. We already have enough competition in Houston. And so we want you to support and stay here. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And so, well, you know, the theme, Gabriela, is expansion, collaboration, and opportunity. So we want them to grow so that they can outgrow the hub program and have those billion-dollar opportunities, right? And so we're going to talk to you, Mr. Hopeton Hay, and you're going to talk about the opportunities with the UT Texas system throughout, not just in Austin where you're coming from, but across the state.
Absolutely. But I do want to mention that I got my start in Hub and MBE with the Houston Minority Supplier Development Council here in 1988. So I would like a moment of silence for Mr. Dick Hebner, who was an incredible mentor for me. I worked for him for 1988 to 1992. Absolutely. So let's just maybe take about 30 seconds of silence for Mr. Hebner. Thank you very much. But started here, moved to Texas in 1984 from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a New Orleans Saints fan. I won't talk about the Cowboys or anybody else here. But most importantly, what I learned, started in Houston and brought with me to Austin, brought with me to Dallas, is how do you help hub firms grow their businesses in a manner that is both profitable and successful? Because one of the things I tell our general contractors, we got $7.5 billion of projects. I'm not interested simply in hitting the goal. I want the hub firms to come out whole. Do you know what I mean? What good does it do you to win a $10 million contract if you lose $500,000? So I am about the business of mitigating risk. So the biggest project we have right now is the UT Joint Medical Center project. It's a project featuring a new hospital from the University of Texas at Austin, a new hospital from the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. And so I am obligated to recruit firms from Houston, Gabriela, to come to this great opportunity for a $1.75 billion project in Austin. So what makes us unique? We have hired one person to be solely responsible, no other projects, as the hub contracting coordinator, but for the UT Joint Medical Center. We have made them part of the Jacobs program management team because, you know, when you have a hub coordinator on the inside, they can provide much more valuable information and support to hub firms. I am at every core group meeting of the UT Joint Medical Center project. What that means is I am at the table making sure I understand what's going on so I can best represent the interests of historically utilized businesses. So I want to invite you to come out to Austin. We just put the construction manager at risk request for qualifications on the street, I believe this morning. We just put it on the street this morning. I urge you to take a look at it. Also coming up in August 1st, we're going to have a system-wide virtual webinar on construction opportunities when we bring together all of our UT institutions, including MD Anderson Cancer Center, UT Medical Branch Galveston, UT Health Science Center in Houston. That's coming up. And Mr. DeMars, can I buy advertising for that in your publication? Can I advertise? Because we want to make sure. Can I advertise what we have going on with the UT Joint Medical Center project in your paper too? because we want to make sure everybody knows about those opportunities, but at the same time, we have provided a number of training and educational resources. We're developing a hub construction contractor guide specifically for this project. What that means is we are putting together focus group meetings with the project managers for this project, with general contractors that have done a lot of work for us, with the general contractor that will be selected to be the CM at risk. We're going to be talking about hub contractors who have worked on our projects, because what we want to know is what you think, what the GC thinks are the challenges and the opportunities, and make sure we cover that in our hub construction contracting guide. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for that. Now, I'm excited because everyone who's on the stage, we've all been at this for a while. I think that all of us have been at it for over 10 years in terms of recruiting businesses, and we're passionate about that. I want for my panelists to think of a success story of a business, right? From an event like this event, share a success story, and then tell us what made that business successful. And so I'll start with you.
Okay, I have a perfect example. I'm not going to really call the name of this company out. But one thing that we focus on, a lot of people talking about growing your business. We make sure and we monitor all the different, especially the minority and women-owned businesses that have contracts with $D. Our school board, our board of trustees, myself and a lot of y'all know Miss Annie Partee, who basically works with me, we have to present every quarter to our board status report. They want to know about how we're increasing the utilization of minority and women-owned business. We have to do that every quarter with a massive amount of data. And it's broken down not only by the names of the companies, but all of the data is disaggregated. Now, we have to present based on ethnicity and gender. They want to know how many women are receiving contracts, et cetera, and the dollar amount. And we report on spent, how much money is being spent with the companies. And it's a reason why the MWBE department, I'm not trying to brag, but the MWBE department in Dallas D was rated the #1 MWBE program in the state of Texas. Because what we do, we make sure we don't assume anything. All right, we work with those companies, and we have a system called Pay Activity Report. You all might be familiar with that, the PARs. We're monitoring that, making sure that the subcontractors are paid on time, because we know when, and I know you can really appreciate that. We monitor that, all right? Contract compliance. We make sure that if a company is committed to using a certain percentage of minority subcontractors and vendors, et cetera, we hold them to that. So we do a lot of things to make sure that not only we recruit minority and women-owned businesses, but after that, we take care of them. And even with the bond academies, after they finish our bond academy, we make sure we work with them with the banks and lending institutions to make sure that everything goes well, that they get that bond. We don't just drop them off. So there's just a lot of things that we do. And like I said, our trustees and our superintendent and Dr. Elizalde, Stephanie Elizalde, they hold our feet to the fire because they want to make sure the companies are growing. But the example that you asked for, we have one particular company that started off, all right, is basically as a subcontractor. We work with him, and it was one thing this gentleman, well, I can mention, it's the Crowther Group, all right? Y'all might be familiar with it. Go check it out for yourself. They started off as just subcontractors, right? But they listened to what we were saying. We worked with them, helped them build the capacity. And they were just doing little small contracts, $1 million, et cetera, and this company just made $50 million this past year. And he went from being a subcontractor to a general contractor, and he's doing extremely well. And he's always coming and checking with us because, we work with them. I'm not saying we're the sole reason why they're doing so well, but we're there to help out if they have any problems and things of that nature. So therefore, we do a lot to support. That's the reason why a lot of general contractors, and I know it's a lot of competition. I know Austin, Houston, et cetera. We have DFW with a large project. We have Parkland Hospital, Fort Worth, et cetera. But it's a reason why a lot of the general contractors come to Dallas, because they know we're going to go the extra mile to take care of them. Thank you.
Wait a minute. We in Houston now. Cool off now, because we have billions of dollars in this room, and we need to make sure that we show them that we know how to do business with our businesses. Right, Gabriella?
I don't think the good thing about it, we have contractors that come from Houston to bid for contracts in Dallas too, and we're open.
And we want you
We're
to
open
go
for
there.
business.
We want you to go there, but I know that we got some agencies in the room, Port Houston, a lot of agencies, Port Houston and other agencies that make sure we take care of our businesses here in Houston. So and Gabriella, you are in Houston, so why don't we're gonna spotlight on you.
Congrats on being the number one. You have to accept when something is gone, All I can tell you is at MD Anderson, we're the number one cancer center hospital, in the world. So, when you do business with MD Anderson, you're not doing business with just a tiny little hospital. You're doing with a global brand. So, and our patients are our number one thing that we care. So if you care about our mission, please come and support us. But I do want to tell you, and this is a part that always hurts me because, they're good firms over there. There's this one firm, and he's one of my favorite one. His name is Roger Pomeroy for Emerald Service. I met him a long time ago, and when I came to MD Anderson, he was like, oh my God, you need to get me in. And I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. Hold on a second. Because a lot of people, and it's hard to break in, right, into a new industry, into the medical center. And people sometimes, they don't want to give you an opportunity because it's a risk, what Hopton was talking about. So what I did, I said, hey, from Vaughn, Mr. JJ, he's been working for 20 years at MD Anderson as a project manager. You need to become friends with him. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm just a hub coordinator. I don't give out contracts. And I want you guys to make, for me, a success story is when you guys get a contract, okay? That's what really matters, are the numbers. The good faith effort, yes, I love it. I support it. But what feeds family is the contracts, right? And so I introduced him. First job I did, it was a job order contracting, business matchmaking. And he's working at MD Anderson with Vaughn. But now he left me to work with Harris Health with O'Donnell Snyder, another contractor that worked with us. So you see, I brought him, I introduced him. It took years to get that relationship and to show them. And now that he's inside, other contractors want to use him because once you learn how to do come on, we all know how complicated the bureaucracy papers are, right? Even to get a hub certification, it takes right now 20 weeks. As a former certification officer, I'm telling you, it's a pain to get those certification, So most important is make sure you network, make sure that you grow your company because Roger has told me even before, thank you so much for introducing me, but that's not the area that I want to go. He's like, this is where I'm focusing. This is how big the project I am. And I appreciate that feedback. So whenever you hear like, hey, this is a great prime to work with, please share that with us because we want other hubs to have the same relationship and we want to support those companies that are supporting a minority business. My leaders, Dr. Pister, he met with 11 primes here in Houston, 11, to let them know that our historically underutilized business is important. For construction, the goal is 21.1%. So imagine, we have $10 billion. Imagine how much money it can go to hubs. So anything we can do, anything I can do to help, there's an entire table of MD Anderson employees over there ready to help you guys to connect, to grow, and to collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
I'm just so glad that MD Anderson Cancer Center is part of the University of Texas system, so we'll count those employees too. But we are a great team of collaborators, all the hub coordinators for UT system. We meet 3 or 4 times a year. We work together, we support each other. But I do have a story, and it won't take me longer than 30 minutes to share this.
Okay,
that's a joke, just joking.
DeMars,
So we have a hub firm. The owner was born and raised in Houston, Texas. And when I met her in Austin in the early 2000s, she was trying to grow her firm. She was a six-figure firm, and she ended up being part of our Mentor Protege program. And through that Mentor Protege program, she was able to develop a new scope of work to focus on to grow her opportunities to build her business. And so up to that point, when we started working with her, her largest contract was typically with us $300,000-$400,000. But then we pushed her because one of the things we recognize is hub firms are talented, all right? Hub firms are talented. And so what we're trying to do is to take advantage of the talent that is there. So we encouraged her to pursue an opportunity at MD Anderson Cancer Center. This was called back in 2002, the Ambulatory Clinical Building Project. It was about a $350 million project, design-build project run by Hensel Phelps. And up to that point, Hensel Phelps had been waiving their bonding on them to help them grow, trying to help them be successful. But then Hensel Phelps said, we really want you to try to get the bonding. So we had a bonding and technical assistance program at the University of Texas system that was operated by Grohava and Allen PC. And I was the representative for them working directly for GNA in Austin. So we said we were going to help her to get the bonding. So to make a long story short, we were successful in helping her to win a $2 million contract with bonding at UT-MD Anderson Cancer Center. But that was just the beginning. We introduced her to Vaughn Construction. She started doing work for Vaughn Construction at UT Medical Branch in Galveston, at UT Health San Antonio, UT Health Science Center in San Antonio. Worked with Hensel Phelps at UT Health Science Center in Houston. Worked with Hensel Phelps at UT Arlington. And of course, a lot of work at the University of Texas, Austin. So helping this firm, this talented firm, get the bonding that they needed, helping to match them with the right surety agent, the right CPA. You have to make sure in construction you have the right surety agent that specializes and wants to work with small contractors. Let me say that again. That specializes and wants to work with small contractors. You also have to make sure you have a CPA, ultimately, as you grow in this field, that specializes in construction. That is a unique type of accounting. So with the help of the construction accountant, with the help of the right surety agent, they were able to win the contract. And let's just say that she's done several multi-million-dollar contracts over the years and is one of our most valued hub subcontractors. What's the name of the firm? Has anybody heard of a person named Clotilde Haynes? Haynes, Eaglin, and Waters.
Okay.
Incredible firm. Did great work for us.
Thank you, thank you. Now we've got to wrap up, but you did something, and I think I'm going to go straight to Gabriella, and I'm going to go to you, Mr. Williams, because you actually kicked it off. You gave tips about making sure, and I want everyone to spend about 30 seconds so we can wrap up here, giving tips to the small businesses. And you talked about for construction companies having the right construction accountant, CPA. And so, Gabriella, what are some tips that you have for our businesses today? 30 seconds or less.
Make sure you get to know me so I can introduce you to the primes.
Mr. Williams?
The most important thing is that our focus is on professional services. Dallas ISD, our board has a mandate. We have to have 35% of all contracts have to be given to minority companies, 30% in construction, 30% in just vendors, period. So therefore, they hold out, like I said before, they hold our feet to the fire. But like I said, the bonding, insurance, and the fact that what makes me a little different from everyone else, I'm on the evaluation committee for contracts with Dallas ISD. I'm a part of the technical proposal committee that we select the companies they're going to receive. And Dallas ISD has it set up, and this is board policy, where when you bid for a contract, 20% of the evaluation, the points, come from the MWBE department. Now think about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank each of our panelists. And so I don't know if you were doing the math. Doing the math, so 21% on a $10 billion project, that's a little over $2 billion. 30% on a $3.5 billion bond, that's $1 billion. It's $3 billion. Plus, what you didn't tell me, your percentage, there's more than $3 billion of opportunities that are sitting up here, right? And so I want to give our panelists a round of applause. I want you to make sure that you introduce yourselves. Introduce yourselves. Make sure you, like Gabriella said, get to know her, but get to know Mr. Hay before he leaves. Get to know Mr. Williams before he leaves. And so you were tasked with meeting. Gabriella tasked you with meeting with 1. I'm tasking you with meeting with 5. You need to meet with every person up here, including myself, and make sure you're meeting and networking with each other. And so with that, it concludes our panel. I want to, again, remind you that Subcontractors USA, we host this annual event to profile the work of our prime contractors, subcontractors, and the work that you're doing. There's a larger summit that takes place in October, on October 16th, so save the date. October 16th, the Eco Summit will be in the same location as last year, Mr. DeMars? Yes. So we've got the Eco Summit on October 16th. Hold the date. I need you to reserve your booth. If you are a prime contractor, subcontractor, make sure that you have your team, you're ready, you're ready to go. And so again, the theme is expansion, collaboration, and opportunity. And so make sure you connect with the folks up here and throughout the audience. Thank you.